Hola, hello, it's your host Faiza, and you're listening to the Delabouche Show. From the 10th to the 16th of May, we had Mental Health Awareness Week. On today's podcast, Delabouche presents Dr. Amy. Watch and listen as we discuss mental health. Hashtag mental health is wealth.
Delabouche.
No, I'm joking. Is it make you feel even worse now? It's like...
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Gosh, do you know what? It just makes me laugh because I just feel like everybody feels really nervous when they come on the show. It's like I have to try and like make them feel like really relaxed at first, and then I'm like, it's fine, we're just having a conversation.
Oh my gosh, definitely nervous.
But thank you, honestly. Firstly, thank you so much for taking the time out to do this. Very, very grateful. It's very exciting to have you on the show.
Oh, it's exciting to be here. Exciting and nerving.
I don't know why it's nerving, but it's fine. I'll try and make you chill out a little bit. It's just a conversation. It's just a conversation. Now, how are you doing anyway? Have you had your night shift yesterday again, or was it?
Yeah, no. I'm well. So I just finished nights on the weekend.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, it made me more tired than
Really?
usual. Yeah, like on Monday I was so tired. Like I was wrecked. So just recovering, but I feel better now.
Good.
I'm back tomorrow on normal days. So
yeah. And shift work anyway, it takes a toll on your body. It's just like you can never really catch up. It's one of those situations. And I suppose this is why I wanted to talk to you as well, because obviously with everything going on, it's like, you know, it's hard enough trying to keep your emotions at a certain level of balance to be then shaken up by, you know, different hours all the time and, you know, constantly changing. It's not really a way to kind of keep that routine for your body to be in survival mode, let's say. So yeah, I mean, today, thank you again. Thanks for coming on. It's great to see your lovely smiley face on the screen. Dr. Amy, thank you very much for coming on. So yeah, just a little breakdown of who you are, really. Who are you?
Okay, so yeah, my name's Amy. Or sometimes known as Dr. Amy, because I'm working as a junior doctor in South London.
Brilliant.
I'm kind of in my second year after graduating from medical school. So how it works is we rotate in different specialties, different areas of like medicine and surgery. So at the moment, I'm just in an A&E placement. An A&E job, which is why my shifts maybe are a bit more sometimes all over the place. So yeah, we do night shifts, but we also do obviously normal daytime shifts. Sometimes we do like twilight shifts where it's like 2 p.m. till 11 p.m. And yeah, it's good though. It's good. I'm learning a lot.
Good. You enjoying it?
Yeah, I am actually. It's quite nice to get a variety of different things, because obviously when people come to A&E, they come for a variety of reasons. So it might be, you know, something a bit more medical, it might be something surgical, it might be something like gynae. There's a lot of variety, and that's really nice.
And how are you finding it? I know it's probably not the most stable environment to be in, especially now. Are you finding there's more people? Are there certain people that are a little bit more anxious to come in? Are you finding there's more people coming in because they kind of got over the fear of it now? Have you seen the change?
So we rotate like every 4 months. So I just started in this A&E job in April, so just last month. And I feel like it can be very busy. I suppose A&Es are always very busy. But one thing that I've noticed, that I don't know if it's always been like this in A&E or if maybe it's been kind of heightened because of the pandemic, is that we're seeing loads of patients who maybe unfortunately haven't been able to get like a face-to-face GP appointment. Or like some GPs are sending their patients to A&E because they're not able to see them face to face. So there's been quite a lot of that. I don't know, I feel like like I said, the fact that we're in pandemic and some surgeries may not have the capacity to see, you know, a similar level of face-to-face patients that they were before. So maybe that's affecting things. But yeah, no, it's good. It's still, it's quite satisfying because, you know, sometimes, so basically A&E is kind of split up into majors, for which if you're in majors, you may need admitting into hospital, and then kind of like a minors or an urgent care centre, which is a bit more like for minor injuries or any accidents and things like that. So the last few shifts that I've been on, I've been in the urgent care centre. So yeah, it's a bit more like you sometimes it's very satisfying, you know, someone can come in, you can patch them up and then they can go away. Other times it may be a bit longer drawn out, but usually we can send people home with, you know, a bit of treatment.
But I suppose every day is different, isn't it?
So different. Every hour is different.
Yeah.
But no, that's good because the previous jobs that I've been on, it's been like within a specific like specialty. So I just finished care of the elderly on a stroke ward. So, you know, it's pretty much always going to be elderly patients, or obviously on the ward, the majority of our patients are post having a stroke. So you kind of get to know that area of medicine. And before that, I was on my psychiatry placement, and, you know, it's going to be people with a psychiatric illness or some kind of mental disorder. Whereas now in A&E, I'm getting all of those things.
Yeah, so, all at once, I suppose. Yeah. So very unique days.
Yeah, definitely. Like you never know, like when you go in, what it's going to be like on the nights that I just finished were quite full on actually. Because there were just so many people waiting. And in A&E, the aim is to see people and kind of get them treated and know the plan within 4 hours of them arriving. And if hospitals don't do that, then basically it's called a breach and they get fined. So it, you know, it was that kind of night shift where I come in and there's like 6 patients at 4.5 hours.
Wow.
I haven't seen it, and it's like, okay, this is what the night's going to be like. So sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes, you know, it's a bit calmer. It's a bit of a surprise.
Lot of stress on your side.
Yeah, it can be. Especially when you come in to, you know, an already really busy department and there's a lot of stressful things going on, and you just get kind of swept up into it. But yeah, no, it's still good learning experience, and everyone works really hard and everyone's trying their best. So
do you feel there's enough staff to cater to the demand, especially now, what you've seen so far, I suppose?
I think at the moment I feel like it kind of depends on the shift. Like they always try and make sure that, you know, it's covered for all the different times of the day. Like for example, in the morning, generally, like at 8 in the morning, it tends to be a bit quieter than say, you know, 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So you get more people coming in for those kind of shifts. But at the same time, you know, if you just suddenly get slammed, don't know what it is, but everyone in
all systems go
can feel a bit more challenging. But the nice thing about A&E actually is that there's really there's loads of senior support, because there's always like a more senior doctor around basically to like run things by. So that's right. I mean, I suppose that's kind of like that in all of medicine, to be honest. But it's nice, but it can be difficult.
You're enjoying it as much as the pressure's on.
I am. I feel like and it's making me maybe more rounded as a doctor, which, you know, can only be a good thing, I think.
I feel like you've got the patience to handle it. So every time I've spoken to you, you've always got a smile on your face and just kind of laugh it off. And
the smile and the laugh is my default mechanism.
Exactly. I think it's a lot of, I mean, I know it's mine. I definitely laugh at a lot of awkward situations. Anyone who knows me, they know that. I'm just like, I'm all good. Inside, I'm dying. No,
that is me. Just smile through it. Inside, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. So let's just smile.
As long as you're doing it with a smile, we'll get by.
Yeah.
And also with your lovely smile. So I know that I've seen you on your profile on Instagram. So just tell everyone where we can find you on Instagram as Dr.
Yeah.
Amy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, when was it? It was just before Christmas, or maybe before actually.
Yeah.
I started a Instagram page
Mm.
called With Dr. Amy.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Oh, that's really nice, because I'm always posting and I'm like, does anyone enjoy this?
Yes, I love it. Everybody go and check Dr. Amy out. It's great.
And like, basically, yeah, the reason why I made it is just because I wanted to increase awareness actually of like mental health, but also like maybe psychiatry as a career, or like what medicine is. So it's, you know, it's not just aimed at like doctors or medical students, it's kind of aimed at everyone. Because I try and just kind of break down some things. So I think the last posts I did were about like the Mental Health Act and the Mental Capacity Act, which are laws to do with like mental health and psychiatry. But also I just want to, like, you know, chat and spread awareness about other things that I'm interested in, like yoga. So I did a video about me doing some yoga. I also talk about like books that I've read and like that I've enjoyed. So I just try and, you know, just meet people with similar interests and, you know, spread some awareness.
I love it. You're full of energy as well on the screen. It's just like, yes, Dr. Amy's in the house. What's Dr. Amy getting on with now? What's she doing? What's she getting up to? But you know what? You touched upon the mental health side of things, and that was one of the main reasons, obviously, I wanted to get you on the show, because I talk a lot about it in my interviews. It will be a question I ask you later on, but I know that you said it's something that you're trying to raise awareness, and I think it's so important, especially now with everything going on, where, you know, people just have to be talking to as many people about it as we can, because, you know, people might be scared to maybe reach out, or just kind of fearful of trying to say that I'm not okay. You know, it's just one of those situations, and it should be more of those situations where people can feel at ease when speaking about it. So what are your thoughts about it? What, I know you've obviously got a lot that you could say about what do you think on the mental health side of things?
I mean, it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week.
Exactly. There we go. Perfect timing.
Very topical. But like, essentially I think for mental health, and also like psychiatry, which is like a specialty in medicine that focuses on mental health, unfortunately there's been a history of a lot of stigma. So, you know, stigma around having a mental health problem, even stigma towards, you know, people who are working in mental health. Like, for example, historically, psychiatry has been quite undersubscribed, unfortunately. And, you know, you'd have a lot of, like, it's a bit called bashing. Like, for example, you tell a colleague, oh, I want to be a psychiatrist. And they say, oh, why would you want to do that? You know, or oh, you're much cleverer than that, and things like that are just really you know, not very helpful, you know, just for people who want to go into it, but also in terms of like supporting the patients and the people who really need it. So I think over, you know, lockdown and the last year, people have started talking about their mental health and how they're feeling generally a bit more, which I feel like can only be a good thing, because the way that you reduce stigma sometimes is actually by talking about things. So that's one of the reasons in some of my videos on my Instagram, I've tried to talk about some like common mental health problems that people maybe don't know about. So, you know, for example, something like schizophrenia, I think a lot of people think of like, oh, split personality, and like that's how it's portrayed in the media, but it's actually completely different to that. You know, it's just sort of a distortion of reality maybe, and you know, you experience certain things. So I just try and talk about these things, or depression or anxiety, and just try and educate people so that, you know, it's not this just scary term that no one wants to talk about, and you're just seen as a crazy person and no one wants to go near you. I think one of the biggest things is just trying to decrease that stigma and make sure that people feel comfortable to open up about things if they want to.
Yeah.
Like, for me
having that
personally.
support system, isn't it? I think
Definitely. And like, I think for me, I'm quite an like external processor, so I need to talk things out.
yeah,
I need to talk to people about my problems or what I'm going through. Just sort of having that chat is like helps me come up with solutions sometimes, or even just like getting something off your chest.
yeah.
And I think
Everybody's different though, so I'm similar to
yeah,
you. I always have to speak it out as well, because then I feel like
yeah,
I've offloaded something that was been stuck in my brain or
yeah,
and it's like, oh, I mean, you know what helps as well? I say this to a lot of friends that might be going through things, just to write things down as well, to kind of clear your mind. There's so many
definitely,
different things that you can do to just kind of
definitely,
offload, because we get
yeah,
so bogged down with the day to day. There's so many things happening. Then you kind of go, oh, there was that thing I was thinking about, and then you might be distracted, and then you kind of go back to it going, oh, I was thinking about that thing, and then it becomes a vicious cycle, so you kind of just have no time to process it, and it's important to process
definitely,
it. So yeah,
definitely.
I totally agree. Sorry, interrupted you, carry on,
No,
Ellie.
not at all. Yeah, but like, yeah, some people like you and me like to just chat about things, but other people maybe don't necessarily want to talk about it with other people. But I think it's really
Yeah,
important that they know
yeah,
resources maybe, or where to go if they want to find out more information, or like what number to call if they're really struggling,
yeah,
etc., etc. So yeah, just sort of trying to get all that information out. And I think, yeah, luckily, like celebrities are opening up about mental health concerns, and there's a lot of I think increased public awareness and things,
yeah,
which is a good thing,
yeah.
really. So
I think
yeah,
so.
that's just what I try and contribute to, try and share any little tidbits and
It's
just make sure
great.
that people
It's
know.
great. Thank you for your
Yeah.
contribution.
My tiny, 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 tiny
No,
contribution.
it all helps. Trust me, it helps. I always try and, any way we can support each other, I think that's great. And just being kind to people, you never know
Yeah,
what someone's going through. Even
yeah,
just a smile
exactly.
can make someone's day, and just think, you know what, plant that seed of, oh, do you know what? Life is not that bad. Someone smiled at me today, or someone's had
Yeah,
a conversation with me, or something like that. Something as simple as that. You
yeah,
never know what someone's going through. So, try and be
exactly.
mindful of those things, and that's what I try and do day to day as well. It's so important. You never
It
know what
is.
someone's going through. It's just,
And what you said is so key. And
yeah,
like, there's been a lot of it in social media of just being kind to people,
yeah,
because, it doesn't really take anything off your back for you to just be nice to
of
someone, in
course,
my
of
opinion,
course, yeah,
And like you said, you don't know what someone is going through.
yeah, yeah,
Even small things like when I see, like when I'm seeing someone in A&E, for example,
mm,
this might be, my fifth patient that I've seen with the same problem, but
yeah.
to them, that is
That's their life.
really, that is their individual experience. And I
Exactly.
always try and,
Yeah,
make sure that people feel comfortable and make
yeah,
sure that I'm open for them to express things, just
mm,
because, like you said, you don't know what's going on in
no,
people's lives and what they maybe don't want to share with you.
yeah.
So yeah, just be a nice person. Just be a nice person.
No, I always have this thing as well. It doesn't matter where I go. So if I go to the doctors, or if I go to the supermarket, or wherever I go, or interaction with people in general, I'll always be so grateful and appreciative when that person's been nice to me. I just
Yeah,
feel so, just like, you just, oh, that was nice. It's just a nice person. It makes
yeah,
such a difference to your day. And it's this thing that I always do. If I'm going to the supermarket, and, I do appreciate that people have got things going on. But if the person behind the till is just not present, or just doesn't acknowledge me, or just is rude in some sort of way, I try and kill them with kindness. It's just a thing I always try and do. And, pretty much 99% of the time, they'll always switch around their mood, and their attitude,
yeah.
as I leave the till, is always happier. So
Mm.
that's what I try and do.
You
Just,
spreading happiness.
I mean, I try. It's all part of being kind, isn't it? It's all part of
Yeah.
trying to have an effect on someone else's day, and hope that that has then spread that joy to that person, and go, actually, you know what, life isn't that bad, let me just continue
Mm.
and carry on the day in a way that hopefully will be a positive one. So
Exactly.
we can only try.
I think we can only, like, I try and have a positive experience in
Yeah.
other people's, like I don't necessarily want to be contributing to anyone's negative experience, because we all
Yeah.
have enough negative things going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just think, yeah, the conversation is so important. And you know, I think lots of people have really struggled
Yeah.
with lockdown, understandably, because you know, like you're told that you're not meant to leave your house. And even for me, I can only talk about myself. And you know, if I'm feeling stressed at work, or like things have been really difficult, then the way that I kind of offset that is by talking to my friends, or
Yeah.
going for a nice dinner,
Yeah.
or going to the gym,
Yeah.
and all these things that people use maybe to like manage their stress suddenly have just evaporated, or been more difficult to. So definitely it was a lot harder, and lots of people did struggle, unfortunately. But you know, as lockdown is easing now and things are maybe getting back to normal, yeah, hashtag the new normal. Yeah, hopefully, you know, we'll remember that support that we gave to people, and we'll remember, you know, the empowering and stuff.
Well, that leads on to the next question, which is what I always ask in every single interview, is the mental health side of things. Like I say, mental health is wealth. So I know you said about, you know, obviously going to the gym and things that kind of de-stress you. What is it? Is it anything that you do maybe weekly, daily, monthly, I don't know, as often as you need to make you feel like Amy again? Is there something that you do?
During lockdown or before?
Just in general. I mean, you might have heightened it during lockdown, but you know, anything anything that you kind of feel like that keeps you sane in a way.
Yeah, so I think for me it was like my friends and family are really important to me, and just being able to see them and meet up with them is something that obviously, have with it being reduced during lockdown, I really value even more so. So yeah, like I said earlier, I'm a bit more of an external processor. I like to talk things out. And just being able to like talk to people who, you know, I trust, or whatever, like just really helped me when I was feeling stressed. And like I alluded to earlier, I really enjoy the gym. Like I quite like group classes, and like when an
On your
instructor,
profile it says you love Zumba, right?
I did talk about Zumba. I actually love Zumba. Like, I've been doing it for ages, and the thing I love about Zumba is that it's such a workout, but it's also so much fun, and the songs are just great. So it literally feels like a club, or like a party.
Dancing,
so it's great. And one of my friends, actually, he's a Zumba instructor.
Oh, wonderful.
And he's been doing like Zoom Zumba throughout.
Oh, nice.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
So that's really nice to, you know, continue like seeing him and the other people that come, and being able to do some Zumba together and just have fun. That has been really nice. For the times when I was a bit more stressed and feeling overwhelmed because of work, the pandemic, etc., one thing that I've really got back into is yoga, actually. I've really enjoyed it. I use this app called Down Dog, because it's free for like healthcare professionals and teachers at the moment. So I've just been using it as like a free resource. And it's really calmed my mind. And I suppose it's kind of allowed me to do a bit of like mindfulness. Just being present in the moment and not overthinking about things. And I really loved that. And then my other maybe not so wholesome things, but everything is great as long as it contributes. Catching up on Netflix, slobbing on the sofa,
the usual.
Definitely haven't neglected those as well.
Good. I mean, are there any future things that you're going to be getting into? Obviously, like we said, hopefully things are getting back to normal. I know obviously you're doing your training at the moment as such, but will you be wanting to go into any sort of direction with your practice? Or is there anything that you want to get into a little bit more, or are you just kind of playing the field and seeing how it goes?
In terms of hobbies, or in terms of
well, both, you know, because hobbies, work, they all kind of go into each other in some sort of respect, don't they? Your interests, let's say, your passions.
That's a really good question. Like, one that I
Yeah.
haven't really thought about too much. I suppose one thing as well that I started doing in lockdown, but I haven't done too much of, but I know loads of people have valued, is like walking and going
Yes.
outdoors. So
Yeah.
as the weather gets better, one thing I do quite like is just like cycling around a bit to like
Yeah.
get to places.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think the theme of this year's Mental Health Awareness Week is nature. So,
Yes.
like going out, just being outside, being in the sun, like we can't like underestimate the sun.
Oh
And
no, the sun just makes you feel better, doesn't it? Delabouche. Like, is there anything you want to do? Future? Any plans?
Yes.
Yes.
So I think what I was saying before is that I really like, just getting outside in terms of hobbies.
In nature. Yes.
Cycling in nature. That's something that I like. I do want to continue my yoga actually, and of course like continue my Zumba and things like that. Like that's my way that I just try and keep fit.
Yeah.
But then like professionally, so I know that I want to apply to sort of specialize in psychiatry essentially. At the moment I'm kind of like general, I'm still training, and as I said earlier on before, I kind of rotate in different areas of like medicine. But then after you do that for 2 years, after that you kind of apply for what you want to specialize in. So if you wanted to be a GP, you'd apply for GP training. So I will apply for psychiatry training. But I don't think I won't be doing that next year because I'm actually doing a job essentially where I'm working in a psychiatric hospital as a junior doctor, but also teaching some medical students.
Yeah, wonderful. How exciting.
That is going to be exciting. But yeah, my long-term plan really is to just go into psychiatry, learn a bit more, try and keep increasing awareness.
So it's quite a close subject to my heart because both my parents were psychiatric nurses.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shout out to mum and dad. Mum and dad. Thank you for all your hard work, mum and dad. You did well. Thanks for your contribution. This is what it's so much. I grew up a lot in that kind of environment where, we had situations where we'd go to the hospital and, growing up, it's kind of processing that young, but then also appreciating the hard work that mum and dad did as well. So it's so important. It's just like, oh God. And then I suppose it kind of made me feel a bit more aware with how I was, and they kind of drilled it into our heads how mental health is so important. And that's why, if you don't have that support system, or if you don't have that around you, or that kind of awareness, I mean, this is why I wanted to talk about it, with people who kind of have it in their lives already, or people that have or share that interest. It's so important to kind of raise that awareness a lot more. And it's so great that you're going to be getting into that, and that is an interest of what you want to be doing, so great. Keep up with your Instagram posts. I think they're so great. I love them.
I'm so glad that you enjoy it, honestly. Like sometimes I post and I'm like, I hope people find this interesting. I hope people just aren't bored.
No, I could never get bored of your face. Come on, Amy. You got so much energy that oozes through the screen, and even if you're listening, it's like, oh, I can feel her vibrancy through her voice. It's like, I know everyone's agreeing with me right now.
Hope so.
They are. But that's such good news. And obviously you are where you are now with the support of your friends and family. So there's a part of the show which is at the end, which is now, where I love to just introduce the grateful and appreciative moment. So, you said you had a lot of support from your friends and family and you value that. So is there anyone in particular, or people that you want to, thank?
Oh gosh. I just feel like there are I'm very I'm very fortunate, I think, that I have a lot of people in my life that I am like incredibly grateful for. Basically, and like I have a really big family who are just such great fun. So like all of my family, all of my cousins, like my parents, I have a close group of like school friends and uni friends who I talk to really regularly.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm giving a really vague answer just because there are literally so many people that I feel really loved by and that I am so grateful to have in my life.
Of
So
course.
hopefully they feel the same. But yeah, just all those people, and obviously you. And
oh, thanks, Amy. You're so sweet. You don't need to thank me, but I thank you right back for taking this time to just do this. It's great to have such great conversations about things that, you know, people are passionate about, and you do it day to day. So thank you for your contribution. And, you know, just by being you're just making a difference to the world. So, you know,
really sweet. I try.
You're doing well.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'd be grateful if you could please comment and share what you've learnt from today's episode. Appreciate you joining me, and I'll see you on the next show.